I think she would move a mountain for you if she could.
She's dedicated, sincere, and honest in her relationships with the people that she represents.
And all the people that Cathy meets, that's just always been amazing to me, how she can remember all of that. And she remembers it because she truly cares.
But you know, it's always been clear to me that Cathy's life work is about the betterment of the greater Spokane region.
She has matured into a person that you would love to have as your next door neighbor.
She has an exceptional record in Congress, and because I've known her for more than 20 years, she's never let me down.
Well, I got to know Cathy actually before she was initially elected in her legislative posts, and I watched Cathy support health care and really be a convener of discussion between and among parties to create good health care solutions in the state of Washington. I think Cathy understands the health care dilemma, and it is complex. Everybody wants a quick fix, and there is no quick fix. This will be her third term, and she's building seniority. She's been recognized by Congress as being a valuable member of that organization. So to go back to ground zero and lose that momentum and lose the character and the ethics of Cathy McMorris would be a significant step back as far as I'm concerned.
I joined the Navy when I was 17 years old. I did a hitch in the Navy on a minesweeper. As a veteran of both active and reserve time, I appreciate having an advocate in Washington, D.C. like Cathy. She has championed providing services to our veterans on a regional basis, especially here in Walla Walla. It's important because we have a regional hospital here. And this allows veterans to be served close to their homes. People expect and want to be protected in their homes and in their regions. And certainly Cathy understands that and has a track record of working towards national security.
My first recollection of Cathy was just this tall, lanky lady that came into school, very studious, dedicated to her schoolwork.
Cathy was very fun. She was funny and liked to make you smile and laugh and see what was going on in your life that way to
Cathy ever get in trouble?
No.
I didn't think so.
I remember in high school there were times Cathy couldn't come participate with us in swimming or other activities and things. She was dedicated to her job, whether it had been working at the orchard with her family or possibly working at McDonald's at the time.
I think of All-American as having strong family traditions and values, teaching your children to work hard, to have good work ethic, to have integrity, those sort of things. And I see that in Cathy, and that probably did start from growing up and from working as a family in the orchard and going on to school and then coming into politics and those sort of things.
My business is a fourth generation wheat farm that my great-grandfather started in 1888. And I believe in her ability to legislate programs and direction into this country that are favorable to farming community, but more so our family community as well. She has the discipline and the overall view of saying, no, we want to let free enterprise work. We want to let, the tax system that's in place actually put money back into our pockets so that we can reinvest rather than always look for government to, work our way out of a solution or a problem.
We made the decision to adopt a child in 2006, and we've never had children, and we've had a business all our lives, and so it was time to save a child. In April of 2006, we made our first trip to Guatemala and met Anna at the orphanage where she was. She's 4 years old. She was abandoned, left on the street at 1.5. Totally, no one has ever come to the orphanage to claim her. She has no one in the world. We fell in love with her as soon as we met her, And obviously we wanted to bring her back to the United States as soon as possible. And the process got very heavily bogged down and became more difficult as time went by. Cathy called the State Department, she spoke to the ambassador down there, she sent emails, and she kept us informed. And although we were frustrated because the process took a lot longer than we had expected, we were never in the dark about it because of Cathy. Almost 2 years later, she's here with us now, and I believe in my heart that had it not been for Cathy, she would not be with us today. Cathy couldn't be committed to someone else's family the way she is and has been with mine if she wasn't committed first to her own. You can do it because it's glamorous. You can want to rerun because you've learned things that now you want to put into effect. I don't think any of that is true in Cathy's case. I think Cathy genuinely wants to serve.
Cathy and her staff are accessible, they are engaged, and they're results-oriented. And so that is why when I served on a committee to look at how integrated transportation planning could in fact support global commerce, Cathy was one of the first people that I sought out for advice. She's never forgotten who she's here to serve. And she looks at Eastern Washington as her home. She looks at how she can better this region, and she listens to all sides before she makes a decision on our behalf.
She had the insight, she had the ability to replace me, but also to carry forth with the leadership qualities that Cathy McMorris has. And she's clearly demonstrated them recently, of course, in Congress, but prior to that, as an outstanding state legislator. Cathy was tops. The Republicans in the caucus voted her as tops, as their leader, and that gave her the expertise, experiences that she needed to go on to higher things in Washington, D.C. Cathy has a vast knowledge of the good book, and in so doing, of course, she puts it to practice. Beyond that, Cathy is able to share it with those who are willing to share their faith or comments about it openly. And that is an ability that is unique, and not enough of our elected officials have it, but Cathy does.
I mean, there's a lot of politics out there, and if people would just follow what's cut and dry, their decisions could be made and they can stand solid on those. And Cathy's got a great solid foundation that she stands on.
I believe she puts the values that we all hold dear, family, growth and education, love, commitment, all those things that make a family healthy. She would not be able to extend those feelings to others if she didn't have them herself.
They're a close-knit family, and I think the very first congressional campaign really lifted that heavily into the focus by her opponents. They had no idea that her family would give up all of their time and energy in order for her to have this opportunity. And that's not the only time that that's happened. The teamwork that she learned as a member of the family in that little family orchard taught her the basics of family life, of family responsibilities, in being able to put food on their own table and a little money in the bank. Well, they need her, and things don't look too good back there right now. And she has the ability and experience of the past to be able to help lead her delegations back there in quality type legislation. And that's what we need in this day and this age.